Delia's story on The Young and the Restless is one of those unforgettable soap opera moments that still spark heated debates, even years later. Her tragic death wasn't just a storyline, it became a symbol of grief, blame, and unresolved conflict. Fans, characters, and even the writers have kept the mystery alive, making it one of the most polarizing plots in General City's history. So let's dive into this emotionally charged tale, unravel the events of that fateful night, and explore the blame game that's left everyone divided. Especially since Billy's talked about it all of a sudden, so here we go. To set the stage, Delia was a vibrant young girl who had already beaten leukemia, showing remarkable strength for someone so young. Her parents, Billy and Chloe, had endured a roller coaster of emotions while caring for her. But just as life seemed to be settling down, tragedy struck. It was a night like any other, or so it seemed. Billy left Delia in his car with her dog Dash while he ran into a store. Dash got loose, Delia chased him, and the unthinkable happened. Adam's car struck her, though he didn't realize it at the time. Now here's where the story gets murky. Adam later discovered he had hit Delia but chose to hide his involvement. He cleaned his car and stayed silent, a decision that understandably earned him a lot of hate. But was Adam truly the villain here? Many fans argue that the real blame lies with Billy. After all, he left Delia alone in the car, knowing she had a history of chasing Dash. And yet, for years, Billy has refused to take any responsibility, choosing instead to direct all his anger toward Adam. I blame Adam though, but the only mistake he made is keeping quiet about his involvement, not for killing her. Let's be honest here, no adult should leave their child behind anywhere, especially not in the car. Had Billy taken her with him that day, Delia would be alive. Now here's why I say Adam's not responsible. He did not mean to kill Delia or anyone. It wasn't intentional, but it was a crime to hide what he did later on. Speculation among fans has kept the debate alive. One intriguing theory points to a blonde woman, possibly a side character who was leaving town that night. Could she have been the real hit and run driver? The presence of other similar vehicles on the road has led some to question whether Adam's car was even involved. It's the kind of soap opera twist that could easily be written in with a few strokes of a keyboard. But until the writers revisit the storyline, we may never know the truth. Billy's reaction to Delia's death has been a major point of contention. His grief is understandable, losing a child is every parent's nightmare. But his inability to move forward has turned him into what some fans call a broken record. He spent the past decade spewing venom at Adam, blaming him not just for Delia's death, but seemingly for every failure in his life. From his personal setbacks at Chancellor Industries to his strained relationships, Adam has become Billy's scapegoat. Fans have even joked that Billy needs a long stay at Fairview for some much needed therapy. But it's not just Adam who's suffering from Billy's wrath. Chloe, too, has taken drastic measures in her grief, going so far as to plot against Adam. And yet, even she hasn't openly called out Billy for leaving Delia in the car that night. This silence has left many viewers frustrated. Why hasn't anyone confronted Billy about his role in this tragedy? Why does the blame always fall on Adam, who at worst was an unwitting participant in a horrible accident? Adam's own actions, while flawed, suggest a man burdened by guilt. His decision to donate Delia's corneas to save his son Connor's eyesight was a bittersweet gesture, one that highlighted the complexity of his character. Adam is no saint, but he's also not the monster Billy makes him out to be. In fact, some fans argue that Adam has shown more growth and remorse than Billy ever has. This brings us to the larger issue in Genoa City, the lack of accountability among certain characters. Delia's death isn't the only instance where a parent's negligence led to tragedy, only for someone else to take the fall. It's a recurring theme that has left viewers questioning the morality of their favorite characters. Billy's repeated failures, both as a father and in his career, are often overlooked or forgiven, while Adam continues to bear the brunt of the blame. One of the most fascinating aspects of this storyline is the ongoing debate among fans. Some firmly believe that Adam is at fault, pointing to his cover up as evidence of his guilt. Others argue that Billy's negligence was the real cause of Delia's death. And then there are those who think that the writers might one day introduce a new twist, revealing another driver or exonerating Adam altogether. The speculation is endless, and that's part of what makes the story so compelling. Billy's inability to take responsibility has even bled into his professional life. His tenure at Chancellor Industries was marked by self serving decisions that ultimately led to his downfall. When his own mother fired him and sold the company, it was a wake up call he sorely needed, but seemed to ignore. Yet, despite his many failures, Billy always seemed to find someone to bail him out. This lack of accountability only adds fuel to the fire for fans who see him as sanctimonious jerk. And let's not forget Victor, one of the few characters who consistently calls Billy out on his behavior. Victor's disdain for Billy is well known, but in this case, his criticisms are echoed by many fans. Billy's pattern of blaming others for his problems, particularly Adam, has grown tiresome. It's been 10 years since Delia's death. Surely, it's time for some perspective. As we wrap up, it's clear that Delia's death remains a sore spot for both the characters and the fans. The tragedy has left a deep mark on the young and the restless, shaping storylines and relationships in its wake. Whether you believe Adam is to blame, Billy needs therapy, or the writers should introduce a new twist, one thing is certain: this story isn't going away anytime soon. So, what's your take? Should Billy finally own up to his role in Delia's death? Is Adam's guilt justified, or has he been unfairly vilified? And could there be a surprise revelation waiting to shake things up? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your theories and insights. Now, in the recent episode of The Young and the Restless, tension between Billy and Adam continued to escalate. Billy is furious with Adam, often directing his anger toward him, blaming him for everything that has gone wrong in his life. This week, spoilers hint at a clash between Billy and his mother, Jill, as Billy's frustration boils over, especially over his failure to live up to her expectations at Chancellor. Jill, already struggling with her health, is caught in the crossfire of his resentment. Meanwhile, Victor, who has always had a rivalry with Billy, warns him about his behavior and the way he's handling his personal issues. Billy's inability to accept responsibility for Delia's death is also a recurring theme. He still refuses to acknowledge his role in the tragedy, and his actions, like leaving Delia in the car, are constantly brought up by others, including Adam. Some fans feel that Adam should confront Billy with the truth, not only about Delia's death, but also about Billy's overall lack of accountability. As the story unfolds, viewers are hoping for Billy to face the consequences of his actions, but with his pattern of pushing blame onto others, that moment seems to be far off. At the same time, Adam's attempts to be a supportive figure for Sharon have added an interesting dynamic, showing a more compassionate side to the character, even if it doesn't sit well with Billy. The stage is set for even more dramatic confrontations in the upcoming weeks, with viewers eagerly awaiting how this long-standing feud will evolve. So let us know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you guys soon in the next video. Until then, take care.